Hi friends, this is Becky Lewis in Central Indiana, and the video I'm making today is one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do, and most certainly the hardest video that I've ever had to make. So before I begin, I would like to read to you a passage from this over 100-year-old book that I had mentioned before on my Google+. Okay, and this is by Ralph Waldo Trine. Within yourself lies the cause of whatever enters into your life. To come into the full realization of your own awakened interior powers is to be able to condition your life in exact accord with what you would have it. Now, I'm beginning with that because when I was stewing over what to do and what to say and how to go about it and, all this stuff, I sat down on my couch where I sit at my computer all the time, and I was praying, Lord, what should I do? I don't know what to do, and I don't really know how it got like this. And I was expecting, to be led to a Bible verse or something like that, because I asked to be led to what I need to see or understand. And this little book that I just mentioned, that I was going to do something with before, had gotten lost yet again. And when I was saying my prayer, I just happened to look over, and I'll be darned if that thing wasn't sitting right there after I'd already been looking for it for over a month. So, but the point is, friends, as per this statement says, we do whatever it is that brings things into our life one way or another. If there's something that happens in your life, we can look at our own self for the cause, and that's exactly what happened. So I need to start out by saying, first of all, I am very sorry. And Steve Olson, I am very, very sorry for putting anything out there that directly insinuated your channel. And I have to backtrack a little bit here and say what happened, okay? I had been a loyal subscriber to you, okay? I'm like a lot of other people who had been a loyal subscriber to you. And the balloon project and all that, I have my own beliefs about things like that, but I do not begrudge anyone some kind of project that they think is going to benefit other people. And so if you really believe that this balloon project of yours is going to do something to benefit humanity, then that's great. If it's going to change something for us or give us some kind of insight or some deeper understanding, that's wonderful. You do what comes from your heart, and I am very sorry for the things I said about that, okay? But here's what happened. As a loyal subscriber to you, and having you request money for that project, and first of all, it's not something that's in my heart to do when there's so much suffering going on. But the thing that really, really broke my heart, it hurt me so bad, and then it made me angry, was that you were asking donations to this balloon project, and then on top of that, you were only going to release the information to the people who paid money, right? The people who paid money were going to get privilege for what you said, I think it was 48 hours before you released it to the public. And friend, I have to tell you, from my heart, that just absolutely sickened me, because what happens is you create division. You give the haves and the have-nots, and you give privilege to those who are willing to pay the money. And the fact is, when you give from your heart a gift, a donation, it is supposed to come from your heart for the benefit of all involved, not for reward. We are taught, when we give freely from our heart, not to be expecting reward. So you create a reward system when you do that. You create an elitist group. It creates division, and it just adds to the challenges that we're already dealing with the divisions in our world. So that is where I was coming from, and I was not in a good heart space. I am so sorry, friends, that I absolutely exploded. I did. And it takes a lot now to really, really crush my heart to the point where I'm actually angry. And here's something that you don't think about. When you do something like that, not just Steve, but anybody who is doing these funding drives like that, when you have funding coming in and you're going to give special privilege to only those who gave the funding, again, that's the division. And it's not in my heart to want to be involved in division anymore. I'm about joining people together and us learning to love one another for who and what we are. We are beings of light within these vehicles, and we need to start acting like it. And being caught up in the world and all these little cliques is one of the biggest problems that we face in our world today. So, at any rate, I'm moving on here. I just wanted to say that I'm very sorry. Steve, I'm very sorry. I had no right to even insinuate that your channel or you were involved in one of these companies that, do the collaboration. I think I absolutely exploded because after I saw your video and I was so sickened, that came to my mind that I had gotten that private email, or not email, but the private message. And so I put one and one together and in my mind, and I was like, oh, okay. But that was so wrong, and I am truly, truly sorry for that. So, and no, I don't begrudge you your project, and I completely understand. And if people want to do something like that, then that is where they're at. My thing was asking people to please save some funds for saving lives, because things are falling down around us and we're so focused on what we want or what we have, we don't see what's going on around us from a heart space. Our eyes are trained to ignore it. It's just somebody else's problem. No, it's not. It's our problem, because we're all one family of man, and we're all one unified spirit. And so we have to think of each other, because we're doing it for the benefit of the whole, for the unity, for the one, the all there is. Okay? So, I'm sorry about that. Now, moving on, I wanted to talk about MrMBB333's awesome video that he did on numbers, okay, on the new Wormwood YouTube channel, Exploding Staggering View Counts, okay. Well, within that video, he was using my channel as, sort of a comparison with the other channels that he was bringing up. And I just wanted to say that first of all, the numbers thing, that's really awesome. MrMBB333, as you said, you're a borderline mathematical genius, and I just think that is so great, because I am not super good with numbers, so I'm not going to go all Pythagoras on you and stuff like that. But somebody like you that has that ability to do this numbers crunching thing with the averages and all this, I just want to say that is so awesome. But what I'd really, really love to see, if you were going to do a numbers thing, is to include, first of all, an even comparison. You used my little bitty channel compared to people with thousands or even millions of subscribers, and I don't personally find that a very fair comparison as far as coming up with possible averages. But what I wanted to point out is, because you are so good with numbers, I would love to see you do this with the variables, okay? The variables are the most critical thing going on in our world, that all this averaging out of things is causing division, and really, in my personal opinion, this is what's causing misunderstandings in all kinds of ways. The variables that are not included in just averaging things out. And this is part of what's wrong with science as a religion, and it is a religion. Anything that is a belief system that changes the meanings to suit their needs at the time is a religion, okay? And the problem with science and the numbers game and all that is that when you start doing averages and you don't consider the variables, it throws things off desperately. So I would love to see the variables thrown in there, because here's a variable for you. Like the video that you pointed out that I deleted here now that this is in response to, okay? That particular video had just been put out, and I only just generally shared it, okay? This video here with the crazy sunbeam shoots up at sunset, I shared that out with groups, okay? But I did not share the debris in the clouds with groups. And there's many, many, many videos that are like that. I mean, if you don't understand the variables, or you don't include the variables, you can't come up with the truth. And the truth is that there is no average person out there. And, you know, Steve Olson, you deserve so much credit for all you do. And MrMBB333, when you covered his channel and was comparing him to, say, National Geographic, the difference is National Geographic doesn't put on shows and talk to people and have radio programs and have guests and include lots of people. So they can have 1 billion subscribers and not even get 10% the views. So there's just a lot of variables there. And I'd love to see someone actually include the variables. So the problem with averaging everything out is the same problem we have with everybody gets a trophy. It makes nothing make sense or be important. And there is no solid truth. So, but anyway, friends, I don't want to make this a big, long deal. And I do want to tell you, though, there's something that happened when I was going over my mind of how I was going to do this and how I was going to go about it. I still was not in a very good place. It's taken me till today to do this video to really get into my heart space. But anyway, so yesterday when I was trying to do this video, I had all these things in my mind, and I was going in my head. I was like, how am I going to go about this, you know, without hurting feelings or saying something wrong, or how can I say my part in this without actually saying it so people can know what I mean without me actually saying it? Well, that's not coming from a truthful heart space. So I needed to just be completely blunt, open, truthful, and honest and break it out. But I got to tell you what happened is, when I was going through that, I was walking it, right? I'm walking it off. Well, I had gone out back in my backyard, and for some reason, I walked around the side of the house, which I never even go to unless I have to go to the neighbor's house for something, and I go around there. But anyway, so I stopped under this maple tree, and I just happened to get a glint in my eye from the sunlight hitting a piece of broken glass. So here's this little piece of broken glass that's not much bigger than, you know, the pad of your thumb, right? So I picked up this piece of glass, and out of that broken piece of glass, it's been there God knows how many years, even long before we moved here. Who knows how it even got to the surface, probably because of the rain we just had. But anyway, so I picked up this piece of glass, and of all the things that it could have possibly said, it had the word harm on it. So all those things that was going through my mind, that I wasn't from a good space, and I was still trying to figure out how to, you know, manipulate something, because I was working off my pride, friends. And so I was still trying to figure out how I was going to say something without actually saying it, because it was my pride, and I felt like, you know, a lot of stuff, all right? But the fact is, when we live off our pride or work off our pride, it causes harm. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And I wanted to tell you all, again, I am very, very sorry for losing it. I am so sorry for making that video out of a really bad place. I had absolutely no right to even insinuate, much less assume, that this was the case. And I let my pain guide my thinking instead of my heart. So And just a side note that I want to throw in here, Jeff P., thank you, my friend. Your words and your response in my video touched my heart so deeply that it was able to open it up. When I wouldn't even listen to my own heart, you are the one that opened my heart and made me see what I was doing and what the truth was. So thank you, my friend. I honor you deeply. Okay, friends. Well, I think that's about it. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And for all my viewers and subscribers, I just want to say thank you so much for the love and support that you pour out to me. And my apologies to you for being rude. So, thank you. And I hope you all have a fabulous day. Much love to you. And peace be with us all. Have a good day, friends. Bye for now.